I think we all know what my preferred mode of transportation is.
Reggae, sexy robot party, everybody's disco dancing. Reggae, sexy robot party, everybody's disco dancing.
I like to travel. I've traveled a lot this year for me. I went to Houston and played paintball for the first time. I would totally go paintballing again. But that's probably because I came back less bruised than most of the other people that went. Went to San Diego for the very first time. Went to New York, Milan, and then New York again on business trips. Traveling for business is completely different than traveling for pleasure, I've found. I did get some time to look around, especially in Milan. I got a day to look around in Milan, and that was pretty awesome. I got an armful of pigeons, and I went into like a little local pub and just sat and had a beer by myself, which was great. And I saw the Duomo, and I saw like that shopping area that's the oldest shopping area in the world, like the oldest mall. And I ate some really good vegan food. Probably the geekiest trip that I've ever taken was this year when I went to San Diego. I went to Comic-Con. It was great. It's nerds on parade for 4 days, but everybody's really nice. I mean, if you go to Comic-Con, you have to know that you're going to be standing in lines everywhere. Lines for the bathroom, lines to get into this panel, lines to see that booth, lines to do this, lines to do that. If you're thinking of going in costume, don't make anything that sticks off of your body because it will get knocked off. It's that crowded in the place every single day. Just be aware of that there's tons of people, but the thing is, they're all nice people. As we were standing in line one morning for probably 3 hours because we wanted to get into the really big ballroom to see the Torchwood panel and other fun panels that happened that day too. And we're standing in line, and the people around us are just, chatting. These people might pull out a book. Those people pull out a snack. Like, nobody was pushing or shoving, or in the places where there weren't ropes on either side to delineate where the line was, people weren't running around to try to cut other people off. People respected the line, which maybe that's because we're geeks, but whatever. I thought that was really nice. If you like comic books, if you like video games, if you like sci-fi movies, if you like any of that kind of stuff, go to Comic-Con at least once. It's just fun, and the whole town of San Diego gets in on it. It's just fun. When it comes to where I would like to go, this might sound a little weird, considering I hate being cold more than anything else in the world. Like, when I get too cold, I get panicky. But my travel destinations are never anywhere tropical. Like, I don't dream of going to the Caribbean or South America or Africa or places like that. I dream of going to Europe, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because oftentimes it's cold and rainy in Europe. But I think the other side of that is I'm so freaking pale. I sunburn so fast, even when I'm wearing SPF 45. Give me 10 minutes outside and I look like a lobster. And skin cancer runs in my family, so it is something that I need to be conscious of. Therefore, I don't necessarily dream about going to locations where I'm going to have to get up and take a bath and sunscreen every morning and then still worry all day about whether or not I've been outside too long and, oh wow, my skin feels like it's catching on fire. The other thing that I have very much enjoyed when traveling internationally is the fact that I'm surrounded by conversations that I can't listen in on. I'm just an introvert. My brain's always working. And sometimes it just gets to be overload. Whereas when I was traveling in, say, the Netherlands or recently in Italy, I was surrounded by these gorgeous languages that weren't mine. So I couldn't listen in. I love being immersed in a country where I don't speak the language. And then it's also that much cooler when I'm in one of those countries and I figure out how to get from my hotel to some landmark using public transit. It's sort of a triumphant feeling that I was able to do this on my own without even speaking the language. That's why I dream of traveling primarily in Europe. It's not too sunny, there's plenty to do, and I don't speak the language. Sounds perfect. Next week, we have a special happy pseudo-celebration going on in honor of one of our MSTHK persons, and you will just have to come back to see who it is and see what it is that we're chatting about. Subscribe, link, like, all of that fun stuff, and we'll see you next week.